Hi Aries, welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for September of 2019. This month, you're going to see a lot of work themes ultimately transitioning into relationship themes as the month goes on. We're going to begin with a Mercury Epiphany Day called the Greater Epiphany Day, along with a Mars Heroic Epiphany Day also in the beginning of the month, lending a lot of energy to the work arena, and followed by a harvest moon in the middle of the month, which will support that. And then later in the month, these planets are going to move into Libra, finishing out the month with a new moon in Libra. So we have a lot of ideas about how these things are going to play out for you, Aries, starting with Natha talking about the work themes this month here in Virgo.
Yeah, hi Aries. So Mercury this month is beginning in your sixth house and obviously in the sign of Virgo. So the sixth house is the house of work. It's also the house of health, of service, and Mercury likes to communicate and connect and be busy. And so you might find that this is a month where at least in the beginning, where you find that you're feeling, you're feeling more helpful, you're feeling more fastidious and efficient. And so that can apply to work, it can apply to your health. And the Greater Epiphany Day that Jamie mentioned is a really good thing. You should watch our video that we made on it. We made a special video with the Epiphany Day explanations, and they're good. You want to take advantage of them. And Mars is also in your sixth house. Mars will be in there all month and in the sign of Virgo. So Mars in Virgo can, Mars is sometimes shows up as the way that we get things done, the way that we move into action, and even the way that we get kind of irritable and annoyed. So Mars in Virgo is also very discerning, very discriminating, and can get a little bit irritable. But know that these are themes that are going to show up for you in work, in your health, and I think that you can really, really get some stuff done this month. Like, this is a great month for being productive because we have our Heroic Epiphany Day, which is the Epiphany Day for Mars. Also a really good thing that you should, listen to our video, watch our video, and see how that's going to affect you so that you can make the best use of it. And yeah, I think that's it. And I know, Julia, you're going to talk about some love stuff, right?
Oh yeah, Natha, but I loved what you had to say about, the beginning of the month being a really productive time for Aries and Aries rising. That's great stuff. But yeah, when there's going to also be, in the second house, in the second half of the month, a shift from the sixth house into the seventh house, which has a very different feel and a more relational feel. So on the 14th, Venus is going to go into your seventh house, Aries, and Venus is the planet of art, beauty, and love. And wherever we find her is where we can get more pleasure out of life. So going into your house of partnerships, that's a really good time to just enjoy spending time with your partner, or even to go out there and look for a new partnership. And then we also have Mercury going into the seventh house around that time on the 14th as well. So, Mercury in the seventh house represents partnership, and it's also the house of any type of consulting work that you need done. If you need to find an expert opinion, whether it's legal, or any type of consulting work, even if you're meeting with an astrologer, it's really a good time to get the other person's point of view to sort of help you along your way. And then finally, there's going to be a new moon at the 28th in your seventh house in the sign of Libra. So that's going to initiate either a new direction in your partnerships and relationship, or perhaps an entirely new one coming into the light. So, Jamie, what do you think?
I love that, and I was just thinking that this would be a really great time, Aries, if you had it in mind to get an astrology reading. The best topic would probably be some form of relationship reading, like a lifelong love reading about the whole landscape of relationship for you, or a reading with your partner to look into, where is your relationship ship shape, and where does it need a little spiffing up. Those would be probably the best choices, especially because of that Chiron opposition there with that new moon could, bring up some conflict and some old ouchies from the past. So, another thought that I had is that Saturn is making a pivot this month. It finishes out the month direct, as you can see here, but it begins the month retrograde and is making its pivot during the course of the month. And when Saturn does that, it makes a shift in its yearly cycle. And when it's been going retrograde like that, we've all been asked to re-examine ourselves in our careers in terms of are we on the right track? Are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? Are we listening to the voice of the inner judge, and is it helping us to move forward in the right direction? So Saturn's been pressing on us that way in a very sort of inward turned fashion for several months now. And here on the 17th, and then moving into the rest of the month, Saturn turns direct. So some of the pressure is going to come off. And it will become easier to move forward, especially if you've gotten stuck or tangled up in some work projects. So that's, I think that's a really nice thought. There's a harvest moon happening also around the middle of the month on the 13th, right in the middle of that, all of that Virgo activity that Natha was talking about, which, might have you very caught up in sort of, organizational frenzies, loaded with activity, sometimes maybe chasing your own tail. But this harvest moon in Pisces with Neptune on the 13th is a really good time to take a little break from all that activity and find your way to the nearest oasis and, do a retreating, resting, recuperation, recreation, and just, just a little teeny escape from it all in the eye of the storm there on the 13th. And yeah, that's pretty much what September looks like for you, Aries. Thanks for watching. You'll find relevant links in the description, YouTube description below this video, pointing you to the services page on our website and the monthly forecast and other great resources that we have for you at Pandora Astrology. Thanks for watching again, and we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.